Dear students, today we are going to start the third section of the poem The Wasteland from line number 187. I shall brief you what I had taught you yesterday. I had taught you that Tiresias is roaming at the bank of river Thames. There he sees the proofs of the summer night which young boys and girls had enjoyed together. The scene presents the condition, the spiritual fall of young generation of the wasteland. They have left each other even without addressing each other, and the river has destroyed the proof of their togetherness, their celebration, because it has carried all the bottles, cigarette ends, cardboard boxes with it. In this way, the wastelanders are at the verge of spiritual sterility. Tiresias is roaming at the bank of river Thames, and what he sees, because he is making an endeavor to bring fertility of the land as well as potency of the king. And what does he see? We shall learn, we shall read in these lines. A rat crept softly through the vegetation, dragging its slimy belly on the bank, while I was fishing in the dull canal on a winter evening round behind the gas house, musing upon the king my brother's wreck, and on the king my father's death before him, white bodies naked on the low, damp ground. The rat here is symbolic. He is a symbol of the animal existence of modern wastelanders. The rat is a symbol of the degeneration of wastelanders. What does he see? Tiresias, when he is fishing at the bank of the river, he is unable to find any fish. And what does he encounter? He encounters a rat which is creeping softly through the vegetation. What kind of vegetation is there? Only bones are found, skeletons are there, because life existence has reduced itself, and the signs of life are very rare in wasteland. Signs of vegetations are also rare in wasteland, and dragging its slimy belly on the bank, this rat is creeping through the vegetation which are only brittle bones, which are only fragile bones, and it drags its slimy, muddy belly on the bank. While I was fishing in the dull canal, when Tiresias was fishing in the canal which has become dull because of pollution, dull because of people's negligence of natural resources, dull because there are activities of merrymaking only, and no spiritual and healthy practices, just as it was in the time of Queen Elizabeth. When Spencer wrote in Prathalamian, what happens? Women are there who are making garlands, who are singing songs to celebrate the marriage of Queen Elizabeth. But today, these kind of activities are not there. Only activities of merrymaking, activities, illegitimate activities are carried on the bank of the river. On a winter evening round behind the gas house, musing upon King my brother's wreck. And all this happens. Tiresias encounters all these scene, all these things on a winter evening behind the gas house. He thinks upon King his brother's wreck. As a brother of King of Naples, Prince of Naples in Shakespeare's The Tempest, He thinks his father Alonso has been drowned while sitting on the bank of river. Ferdinand heard the song of Ariel, who the song is thus quote, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wreck. This music crept by me upon the waters. These are the lines from Shakespeare's play The Tempest. I repeat these lines, sitting on a bank, weeping again, the king my father's wreck. This music crept by me upon the waters, unquote. So, for Tiresias, because Tiresias has lived through all the ages and he is bisexual, so he can experience every kind of experience, every kind of life. So on the king my brother's death before him, so he thinks upon the shipwreck of his father, and as the brother of fisher king, he laments the loss of the health of his brother, and white bodies naked on the low damp ground. All around the scene is very shameful. Women, naked women are lying on the low damp ground, and they are call girls and prostitutes. They are busy in their profession, cheap profession, and this profession may be because of their helplessness, because society has forced them to do. So all these things are emphasized by T.S. Eliot to show the sordidness, the cheapness of the life of today, the life of wasteland. And bones cast, white bodies naked on the low damp ground, and bones cast in a little low dry garret, rattled by the rat's foot only year to year. And these bones, they are so light, they are so brittle that even a rat's foot can rattle them, shake them, and they are making a rattling sound. But at my back from time to time I hear the sound of horns and motors which shall bring Sweeney to Mrs. Potter in the spring. These lines are objective correlative to John Day's Parliament of Bees. In this there is a paradox, because in this poem John Day is mentioning the transformation of hunter Actaeon into a stag, because Actaeon had entered the area of Dinah when she was bathing in a pond. When Actaeon saw her naked, he was cursed, because goddess Dinah was enraged, and she cursed him to become a stag, and he was killed by his own hunting dogs. So these lines are in contrast, in paradox to today's women. There was one goddess Dinah who was so chaste, she was so pure that even being seen naked had enraged her. But today women are given to the profession of prostitution, and they are, the sound of motor car is a sign for them to make physical love with their lovers. Now, at my back from time to time I shall read the lines from John Day's Parliament of Bees. Quote, when of the sudden listening you shall hear a noise of horns hunting, which shall bring Actaeon to Dinah in the spring. And here, at my back from time to time I hear the sound of horns and motors. These sound of horns are horns of motor cars, in contrast to the sound of horn which the hunter Actaeon was carrying with him. And it shall bring Sweeney to Mrs. Potter in spring. This character Sweeney is the character of the poem which was written by T.S. Eliot. He had written 2 poems with the character of Sweeney, and in this poem Wasteland, this Sweeney becomes a lusty person who, after hearing the sound of horns and motor cars, shall go to Mrs. Potter. It is a kind of hint, a clue for him to meet Mrs. Potter in spring season. The moon shone bright on Mrs. Potter and on her daughter. They washed their feet in soda water. Now this moon is shining. Moon is still shining, but it bright on Mrs. Potter. Mrs. Potter, in contrast to Dinah, who was bathing in a pond, she is washing her feet in soda water. Rather than pure water of pond, she is washing her feet with soda water to make the feet fair. And after that, these lines are: the moon shone bright on Mrs. Potter. These lines are just a kind of objective correlative, because objective correlative is a habit of T.S. Eliot, a technique of T.S. Eliot to contrast past and present. And Mrs. Potter, first she is caressed by moonlight and her daughter. So these lines are a parody of a song which was very much famous in 1900. Australian soldiers used to sing this, and I shall quote those lines. Oh, the moon shines bright to Mrs. Potter and on her daughter of Mrs. Potter, and they both washed their feet in soda water, so they ought to keep them clean. These are the lines of a song of 1900, and T.S. Eliot has made a parody of this song to highlight the lust, the profession of Mrs. Potter and her daughter. The next lines are in French, and these lines are from a poem of a French poet. The translation of these lines is: oh, the voices of children singing cupola. When Parsifal, the true-hearted knight, arrives at Chapel Perilous, he listens to the chorus of children who are singing a song. Rather than being chastened by the song, his lust is aroused, and that is the irony of that song. The true-hearted knight is even lustful after listening that song. So this is a line from a song of a French poet who had written these lines, and the name of that French poet is Paul Verlaine, and this poem is in French. T.S. Eliot has used these lines to highlight how lust can be aroused even in simple things. A man has to control his lust, because nobody will help him, he will be helpless, and this lust will lead him to his disaster. So the theme is resisting the fleshly temptation and to control oneself. Tweet, 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 jug, 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 so rudely forced, Tyreus. Again references to Tyreus, King Tyreus, who had violated the chastity of his own sister-in-law Philomel, and as a result, gods took pity on Philomel. They changed her into a nightingale, her sister into a swallow, and Tyreus was changed into a hawk. So this theme is transformation through suffering, which modern Westlanders can't expect. Westlanders are busy in merrymaking, so the transformation into something higher is beyond their capacity, beyond their imagination. Thanks, students. We'll continue tomorrow.